Even though it might look like just another display of a perfect life on social media, some people have discovered that flaunting it can turn into a real trap. Showing off riches, luxurious trips, and achievements may impress followers, but sometimes the cheap ends up expensive. When real life mixes with the phone screen, what seems like a simple post can end up serving as evidence for illegal activities, fraud, and even land someone straight in jail. These are the social media show-offs you will learn about today. A couple from Ohio, John Morgan and Ashley Dubo, thought it was a good idea to show off on Facebook with money that was not really theirs. After robbing a bank, Morgan decided to pose, all excited, with dollar bills scattered around, showing his criminal success. The pictures were those classics: money on his face, bills thrown on the bed, a true dream for a bank robber. But the police were watching. They saw the images and did not take long to connect the dots. That money Morgan proudly displayed was from the bank they had robbed. Investigators used the snapshots as proof, and there was no other outcome. The couple ended up behind bars, and the internet was filled with memes and jokes about how it was one of the most foolish displays ever seen. I mean, who thinks that showing off stolen money online will not go wrong, right? This incident became one of those cases where you look and think, is this for real? Who would have guessed that a desire for likes could end up leading straight to jail, especially when it involves a bank robbery? An online show-off was never going to slip by unnoticed, particularly to the authorities. Johann Clark, a 31-year-old robber from England, thought he was clever enough to get away scot-free with an armed robbery and still could not resist the urge to show off. Right after robbing a store in Croydon in the south of London, he took some truly ostentatious pictures with wads of cash and even a diamond ring that was part of the loot, valued at £3,500, over $1,770 US. And what happened? Naturally, the police figured out a way to connect the dots. A few days after the robbery, Clark and his brother Hamani were stopped at a checkpoint. During the search, the officers found a digital camera on them. That was the giveaway. The camera was full of photos of both men showing off the money and the stolen ring. Perfect evidence. At the trial, Clark pleaded guilty and ended up getting a life sentence. He was convicted of conspiracy to commit robbery, possession of a firearm, and grievous bodily harm. The others who took part remained at large. But the truth is that this digital show-off proved very costly indeed. Influencer Hush Puppy, a Nigerian who became an Instagram sensation, was known for flaunting a life of pure luxury, worthy of a movie. He paraded around on dazzling yachts, drove supercars that cost fortunes, and made a point of showing up dressed in designer labels like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. And of course, it all came with trips to the most exclusive spots on the planet. From Dubai to paradisiacal resorts, anyone looking at his posts would have thought he was living the perfect dream. But in 2020, the glamour turned into a major police case. Hush Puppy's real name is Ramon Abbas, and he was accused of taking part in a massive cyber fraud scheme that caused multi-million-dollar losses. Investigations revealed that he was involved in scams like phishing and identity theft, diverting enormous amounts of money from companies and even banks. He was arrested in a blockbuster-style operation in Dubai, with the authorities seizing everything and finding plenty of evidence against him. And those photos he posted so confidently, law enforcement used many of them to link the influencer to the crimes. Today, everything looks different. Instead of Michelin-starred restaurants and watches worth a fortune, Hush Puppy faces a long prison sentence. The case went viral, surprising many people who discovered that all that luxury came from fraudulent schemes that hurt numerous victims around the world. In 2017, Maxwell Morton, 16 years old at the time, committed a violent crime. He shot his friend Ryan Mangan while visiting the friend's home. Up until then, it was a tragic, shocking case. But what made it all the more bizarre was what he did right after. Instead of panicking or trying to cover it up, Morton took a selfie next to Ryan's body and sent the picture on Snapchat, showing several friends what had happened. One of those friends, horrified, saved the snap and showed it to his mother, who contacted the police. When detectives looked into it, they found Morton remarkably calm, still with a phone full of evidence. There was no mystery. The picture and the messages he had sent on Snapchat became key elements in the case. He ended up being tried and convicted of the crime, with the post itself serving as one of the pieces of evidence. The fact that he shared it on social media shocked everyone, mainly because of how it was used. That lack of judgment led to severe consequences for everyone involved. A man who was on the run from justice was found by the military police after showing off a gun on social media. He had already been sentenced to more than 8 years for robbery, yet he posted a video of himself driving around in Nova Iguacu, in the state of Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, while holding a gun. And talk about a slip-up. He recorded himself driving right by a police car with its lights on. To make things worse, he pointed the gun at the police vehicle as though provoking them. Naturally, that drew the attention of the authorities. The military police's intelligence division began an investigation, and it did not take long to discover his exact whereabouts. With support from the Border Operations Command, the police apprehended him quickly. The operation was announced publicly, and the video ended up being the cherry on top of the investigation. In other words, what was meant to be a bold show-off on social media turned out to be the end of the road for this fugitive. This is one of the classic examples of show-offs gone terribly wrong, the infamous Fyre Festival. In case you do not remember, it was supposed to be a super exclusive music festival in the Bahamas, promoted with the help of several major influencers like Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and other famous models. Social media was full of paradise-like images and promises of a lavish experience, brimming with yachts, stunning villas, and unbelievable parties. But when the festival actually happened, it was a complete fiasco. Those who had paid thousands of dollars for VIP tickets ended up facing emergency tents instead of the luxury villas they were promised, meals that were basically bread and cheese, and a total lack of infrastructure. The celebrities who had helped promote the event soon faced lawsuits, accused of hyping something that never even came close to being real. Kendall Jenner, for example, was criticized for not disclosing that she had been paid to make that Instagram post. The festival became a laughingstock online and a lesson about the power and danger of deceptive advertising. The organizers, including Billy McFarland and J. Rule, faced serious consequences, with McFarland ending up in prison for fraud. And the influencers? They had to deal with the pressure and responsibility of having helped sell that fantasy. In the end, Fyre Festival turned into a complete online disaster for both the organizers and those who helped spread the word. Imagine faking a luxury trip and going viral because of it. That is exactly what influencer Natalia Taylor did in a well-orchestrated prank. With nearly 2 million subscribers on YouTube and over 320,000 Instagram followers, she shared extremely glamorous pictures, supposedly taken in Bali, complete with a foam-filled bathtub, champagne, and plenty of poses. One of her captions read, "The Queen has arrived, hash Bali." Everything was going smoothly until a few days later, Natalia posted a video revealing the truth. She had never set foot on that famed Indonesian island. Every photo was taken inside an IKEA store in Los Angeles. She even asked the photographer to leave subtle clues, like price tags on the furniture, but her followers still believed in her luxurious trip without question. Natalia did it to show how easily influencers can create the illusion of a perfect life on social media, manipulating backdrops and sometimes inventing stories altogether. The lesson was clear to anyone following online trends. Not all that glitters is gold, and even an exotic trip might be nothing but marketing. Fabio Dorea, a Brazilian drug trafficker who was living a luxury lifestyle with high-end cars, mansions, and exclusive trips alongside his wife Fernanda, flaunted this glamorous life on social media, showcasing travel and party routines. But a simple mistake made everything collapse. In 2019, Fernanda posted a photo in a specific place without realizing it would lead the authorities straight to Fabio. The post revealed their exact location, making it possible for the police to track down the couple and locate their home. Upon examining the post, the authorities found Fabio, who had been on the run for narco-traffic offenses. The drug trafficker was quickly arrested, and his lavish life went down the drain. His wife, unaware of the impact her post would have, ended up revealing both of their whereabouts, leading to Fabio's arrest and the loss of all the assets and status they had enjoyed. Digital influencer Jennifer Endringer had quite a tense experience after posting a photo of her Rolex watch on social media. It happened at a beauty salon in Pinheiros, in the western zone of Sao Paulo in Brazil, where Jennifer was. She had shared a picture on Instagram in the morning, but about 4 hours later, a man entered the salon, called her by name, and armed, demanded she hand over her watch. She explained on her stories that fortunately no one else was targeted in the robbery. The thief only took her watch, leaving her phone and money untouched. Jennifer even mentioned that, while she could not be certain, her post might have tipped off the criminal, given that the robbery happened so soon after she shared that picture. According to the police report, the robber was accompanied by another individual who stayed outside the salon. The influencer made it clear it was a traumatic event, but she was relieved she had not been harmed physically. Rodrigo and Luisa were showing off on social media as if they led a life of luxury. They posted pictures of expensive cars, trips to incredible places, and fancy dinners. Their goal was to appear successful and trustworthy, bringing in investors to a sports betting venture with promises of monthly profits ranging from 6 to 10%. But of course, it was all just a front. Once the police investigated, they found out that this supposed company was nothing but a scam. The investors' money was never used as promised and simply vanished. The couple was arrested, and after a custody hearing, sent to prisons in João Pessoa in Brazil. Now, everything they had been flaunting online as a successful life ended up being the primary evidence against them. The luxury and travels they boasted about were simply a shield to cover up the fraud they were committing. What seemed like a dream turned into a nightmare, and they paid the price for overdoing it on social media. Businesswoman Oracelia Rosa got a surreal surprise after her phone was stolen in the city of Boa Vista, in the state of Roraima, in Brazil. She runs a pizzeria with her husband and explained that the theft happened while she was trying to help two men who presented themselves as hungry Venezuelan immigrants. Oracelia noted that she went into the kitchen to request some food for the suspects, and during that moment, they took the phones from the counter. What was most surprising was what happened next. 2 days after the theft, the thieves, showing complete obliviousness, posted a selfie to her Instagram account, just sitting there eating. And that is definitely not the sort of surprise post anyone wants to find on their own profile. She then had to change all her social media passwords and filed a police report using that picture as evidence. The police did reach out, but the suspects were never found. On social media, Oracelia expressed her disappointment, saying she no longer feels comfortable helping anyone who asks for food. It is a situation that shows even good intentions can backfire terribly. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.